So let's talk about interacting with another city. You can help a city get off to a good start by sending, and you can see it's blinking, by sending services to that city. You can gift money. And then once we start that city, then we can set up a relationship where we're bringing in electricity, water, and power. Before you do that, those three basic services, you want to make sure that you've got a good surplus so that you're not running into an issue. I always say be prepared in your new city to put down electricity, to put down water and sewage. But as you can see, from an electricity standpoint, we've got a significant surplus. From a water standpoint, very good surplus, and sewage capacity. Now, the sewage surplus is not as great as the others. So before we get started with the other city, let's just add on a bit more capacity for sewage. When you are interacting with another city, one thing that you're going to run into, and you might think that you're doing something wrong. One thing is not all city plots are connected. So let's click on this city plot that we were thinking about, and let's just click on sending a gift. As you can see, if it shows this box here, this window, then it's a city that is connected. We can send garbage, we can send fire, but let's click on this city plot. And as you can see, it says no road connections to this city. Select another city to volunteer. Just because the cities are all in the same region does not mean that they are connected. The way the game works, there are some cities that you will not be able to send gifts to. One thing that you can do is you can send gifts to one particular city, and that city may have a connection. But I wanted to point that out so that I didn't want you to think that you were doing something incorrectly. So let's get started with creating a relationship between two cities. So we want to start with this city here. And the first thing that we want to think about is we do not want this city to have to start out with dirt roads unless you want to, but let's do this. Let's click on gift, and as you can see, our original city has a certain dollar amount, just under 1.5 million simoleons. So we can gift funds to this city. And if we click on this, it will start going in increments. So let's send 300,000 simoleons, and then we can click on send gift, and it's going to send the gift. One bit of advice: do not go into your new city just yet. Let it process for a while. There are times where the simulation will not quite register, so just wait a while. But as you can see, in addition to simoleons, you can send other things. We are extracting oil. We can send oil to that city. We can send ore. We can send metal, fuel, computers, alloy. So things that we have in this city, we can send to that city. But the primary thing that I typically send are simoleons. That helps get that city off to a successful start, and we don't have to start out with dirt roads. The other thing that you can do is down here is we can send some services. So let's click on garbage. We have 6 garbage trucks. So you can click on however many garbage trucks you want to send to that city. Fire. Let's send a fire truck. Health. and police protection. So we now have sent the basic services to that city. Now, as far as electricity, water, and sewage, that has to be done from the city that we're going to. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and claim and move into our new city. We're in our new city. It takes a few moments for the simulation to notice that the funds have been sent over. So as you can see, we're starting out with 50,000 simoleons. Over time, as the game is loading and it's telling you about things that have been unlocked in our original city, Department of Finance, community college already approved. We did what we needed to do to unlock community colleges in the first city. So the things that we have unlocked, those things are now being shared with this city. The city now just indicated that we got our financial gift. And it says here, Simoleon gift received. We're going to be receiving a fire truck, a garbage truck, a health truck, and police. Let's start setting up receiving services, the three primary services. So now let's click on electricity. And it says buy power from neighboring cities. Well, we only have one neighboring city, but it shows you how much electricity is available and the costs. You're not getting the electricity for free, you're paying for it. So let's click on buy. And now we are receiving electricity from our first city. Water, it's going to show us how much water is available and how much. We click on buy. And sewage, it shows how much is available and we can click on buy. So we have now set up a relationship between the two cities. So once we start the process of building this city, we now have additional funds, so we do not have to start out with a dirt road. Once we start zoning, we're going to start seeing garbage trucks, fire trucks, health, and police show up. We already have purchased and we're going to be getting electricity as of right now. Since we have not actually zoned anything, this bottom section, it will show what we are buying, and it will say the same thing for water and sewage. But as of right now, we've not connected the city. But once we do, those things will appear. So I have set up just a real basic city just to illustrate how we were able to bypass having to use dirt roads. So with the funds that were sent, we were able to set up a high density highway roundabout. We set up some roads. Of course, we made sure to put our industrial area downwind from residential areas. This city does not have any power plants, no water, no sewage, but when we click on electricity, it will show that we need zero point 0.2 megawatts. We're buying 0.2 megawatts. From a water standpoint, we need 0.3 kilogallons, and well, that's what we're purchasing. And sewage, we do not have people who are really in the city just yet. It looks like we just got some individuals who are producing sewage. So that will eventually start sending, yeah, see where it says it's now exporting the sewage. So if we go back to this view, it will show that we are sending sewage. It will show that we are buying water and that we are buying electricity. So now if we return to our original city, our first city, we can see that when we click on electricity, not only are we showing our capacity and what we're using in this city, but it will show what we are selling to our neighboring city. Click on water. Same thing, it will show what we are not only using here, but what we are selling. Click on sewage and what we are importing, and we're also making a profit on that. But if we had the need for garbage, fire, health, or police, those would be coming here. We unlocked community college in the first city. So community college is already available to us, and we now have the opportunity to put down a town hall. One strategy that you may want to employ, instead of trying to get the town hall in your first city to have all of the modules, which requires a pretty significant amount of population, that's something that you can spread out with town halls in your first couple of cities. So once this upgrades, which is going to happen relatively soon, then this town hall, you can kind of pick up where you left off. We've got two modules in the first city, a Department of Finance and a Department of Utilities. This one is where we can start to add even additional modules. But that is the basics of creating a relationship and interaction between two cities. The one thing that I will always caution you on is make sure that as far as your primary services, power, water, sewage, that you keep an eye on what's available. I don't want you to have a situation where you look up and your city is no longer receiving power, no longer receiving water, is no longer able to send sewage. Just make sure that you are keeping in the back of your mind that as this city grows and develops, very likely you're going to need to set up those services in this city, unless you have a situation set up where you're producing such a surplus. If I were doing something along those lines, I would actually put down an additional power plant, an additional water treatment, and sewage in my first city. This ability to have one city plot provide electricity, water, and sewage capabilities, and to also send services to a city does open the door for a fun gameplay mechanic in which you set up a city plot as kind of a service city. And what you're doing is it's a city that you are putting just enough residents in the city where you can plop down multiple power plants, multiple water treatment, lots of sewage, and you can supply a city and maybe multiple cities with those services. And then the thing that you would want to keep in mind is this city, if you were doing that, you would not want to spend a lot of time in that city because it's only operating bare bones with just enough people so that the simulation will operate. This is one of those service cities that I was just talking about. This city has just enough employees where I can put down a lot of power plants. I can put down a lot of water treatment, sewage treatment, garbage. But as you can see, I do not have any other services such as health, fire, police. I only leave this game running long enough to check in every once in a while. But what this city is doing is I am providing electricity to two of my large mega tower cities. And I did not want to use up space on services. I wanted to have as much space available as possible for my mega towers. So these are three mega tower cities that I am supporting. And these are three cities and gameplay that you would find towards the middle and the latter part of my season 3 gameplay. But it's a fun mechanic. It is good up to a certain point. Um, the only thing that I find that is a challenge is garbage collection and recycling tend to start to fall apart at some point. But you can keep a city well supplied from from electricity, water, and sewage standpoint. But that's just the basics of creating a relationship and interaction between two cities. I hope this has been helpful. If you are wanting even more information on specializations, let me know specifically what specialization we're going to discuss. Let me know if there's anything else that I can cover for you. But like I said, that's kind of covering what the primary comments have been about, which is a specialization and setting up an interaction, a relationship between two cities. And that's what we have done. But yes, please let us know. Let me know if there's something else that I can cover, and I'll happily do so. But until then, have fun, enjoy the game, and we will see you next time.